you, President Karen. We've had a lot of speaking about the foundation today, and now we have 3 more Paul Harris Fellows to award, fellowships. Would Don Stahl, Ken Peterson, and Scott Shipman please come to the front of the podium? Polio Plus, I want to talk a little bit about Polio Plus. When that started back in the early 80s, they wanted $300 million to eradicate polio throughout the world. I remember a couple of things that happened in that time. Rotary had to go into very remote areas to administer the vaccines, into very populated areas too. And they needed to have the vaccine refrigerated. So they developed a small refrigerator that they could keep the vaccine in, and that would enable the volunteers that went into these remote areas to keep the vaccine viable and usable. Well, these volunteers were gone for several weeks at a time, and in order to keep this vaccine going, and how did they get back in there? They used donkeys many times. So they had to develop this refrigerator that would go on the backs of the donkeys, that could run for several weeks at a time, and that would keep working. And they did it. Rotary did this. Another thing they had to do was, let's see, kind of impromptu here. Going into these areas, now consider this scenario. Here in Mason City, we have a foreigner come in who doesn't look like us, who doesn't speak our language, who wants to administer something to our children that we know nothing about. Can you imagine trying to go into these areas and do this? Rotary accomplished this too. They did it for around $300 million at that time. That was the original goal. I can't remember, it was 325 or something like that. And that sounds like a lot of money, but to touch everybody in this world for $300 million, which is less than the power plant cost to build over southwest of the city, it's amazing. The Rotary Foundation is a wonderful, wonderful organization, and we thank you for all of the donations that you have given to it, and hope that you will continue to give to it throughout this year. We have matching monies available again this year, so if anybody is considering giving to it, please let me know. Today, we have 3 Paul Harrises to award. The first one goes to Scott Shipman. And Scott is receiving his 3rd level Paul Harris. Congratulations, Scott. The second one goes to Don Stahl. Now, Don is leaving the club. He's being transferring to a club down in Florida. Don, do you want to say a couple words, or?
Just a couple. I have 3 hopes for this club and for me. The first is, I hope you'll continue to grow and attract younger members. It's been a delight to see what this year has been. I think that might have something to do with leadership, just a thought. The second hope is, I hope you'll consider, again, celebrating 100 years of Rotary, this time 100 years of this club. I think it's coming up, isn't it? Yeah, and I think Greg would still laugh if I said, you know, there's a man who needs I see a man on a horse.
You coming back and play that part again?
I will. And the third hope is, I hope that there will be yet another opportunity to rejoin this club, because Florida is awfully hot, it's overrated, and I hope we'll come back. Thank you so much.
Thanks, Don. We're going to miss you. And I'm going to ask Ken Peterson to give our last presentation, if he would.
I promised on the way out here not to embarrass Darlene. She's not one that seeks the limelight. And she loves to sing, and she can get up in front of a group and sing and do a solo, and doesn't seem to be bothered at all. And I couldn't do that for anything. But she's always there, and we've done a couple other Paul Harris fellowships, and I wanted this one to be in her name because she's such a big part of us.